Well, spring has sprung, but with the season comes pollen and other allergens that can cause worry, some reactions in our pets. Dr. Ruth Roberts from Sundog Cat Moon is here with some relief for our furry friends struggling with the springtime allergies. We get into sneezing, our pets do more of a coughing.
Well, they do coughing, and mostly what they do is itch and scratch and chew and lick, and then all of a sudden you realize you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning with this poor animal that's suffering. So the difference is our shock organ is the respiratory system, and their shock organ is the skin for the most part.
And the skin gets infected to a degree, especially more so, I guess, with cats because they're always licking themselves, and so they're spreading it from their skin now into themselves internally.
Well, and that's a great point that most people miss. So the pets end up ingesting a lot of the pollens and allergens, and by licking and chewing, and actually it's more often dogs, interestingly, that will get skin infections mostly in their feet, in their ears, and then certainly anywhere else in the body as well. But that comes from the licking and chewing and traumatizing the skin so that bacteria can go underneath the layer of the skin and set up shop.
Even more so with outdoor cats and dogs than inside?
Indoor and outdoor, and that's the thing that's really disheartening, is that even though we've got these great HEPA filters and things of that nature in our heating and air systems, pollen still gets inside regardless.
It's on their coat.
And that's it. They go outside, they go potty,
it's just like in our hair. If we're outside during the pollen time, working in the yard or whatever, we don't realize, but we've got so much of that in our hair, and they've got it all over their coat as well.
You've got it. And that's one of the critical things, is when they come in from outside, wiping them down with a damp washcloth, wiping their feet off, that helps remove a terrific amount of pollen. Also bathing more frequently, once or twice a week, even if it's just rinsing off with cool water, that helps quite a bit as well because you decrease the pollen load.
Tell us about the symptoms.
So that's it: licking, chewing, scratching. So they're often will have ears that blow up and get swollen, runny eyes, and then sometimes coughing because of the just terrific amount of pollen that's out there. You'll end up with some respiratory irritation in dogs and cats.
Now, we're seeing that in our cats and our dogs. We feel sorry for them. We want to help them out. What are some of the medications that can be used? Well,
certainly conventionally, steroids and antihistamines have been used for a long time, and sometimes we need those. But there are other things like fish oil, probiotics, quercetin and stinging nettles we've been using a terrific amount of. Using an anti-inflammatory diet, so if we reduce the overall level of inflammation, then we reduce the itch. And then certainly acupuncture can be helpful, as well as Chinese herbal supplements.
Allergy testing.
Wonderful stuff. So we used to think of just going to the dermatologist.
For ourselves.
Exactly.
Get that little stick.
And we're fortunate to have veterinary dermatologists here in South Carolina, or Charleston and Mount Pleasant, and they do a wonderful job. But another option would be a blood test that reveals the allergies the pets may be experiencing. Additionally, the thing that's developed in the last several years is oral hyposensitization therapy versus the injectable. And I feel like the oral therapy often works better and more quickly for pets, particularly that are allergic to dust mites, molds, things of that nature. So that's been a wonderful option.
So as the pollen season continues, when our dogs and cats are outside, if we can give them that little added attention to brush off that lint and do it preferably outside, and sometimes we may even need to have a little bit of a filtered mask of some sort so that we're not breathing all that pollen
stuff in. That's exactly it. And that's the other problem, is that for people that are allergy sufferers, if the pets are bringing the pollens inside, they're increasing the amount of pollen in the house. So wiping it all down outside, great idea.
Sundog Cat Moon, you can't beat it, that's for sure. Dr. Ruth, thank you so very much. They're located 2908 Maybank Highway on Johns Island. Give them a call, 437-0063. Thank you so much.
Many thanks, Tom.
Yes, ma'am. And we've got more coming up in just a moment, right after the break.